Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Friday, June the 13th. It's Friday the 13th. I'm not doing a Friday the 13th themed video today. But let's start off at the top of the board on this news board with news from a very long time ago. So last night, the Edmonton Oilers down 3 goals against Florida. They come back and win. How long has it been since a team that was down by 3 in a Stanley Cup final game came back and won? 106 years. So I thought I might as well go look this game up. So I did. I looked this game up, looked up the stat line. So the Montreal Canadiens trailed 3-0 in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup final against Seattle. Looked like Seattle's going to win, of course, March 29th of 1919. And that's when the Stanley Cup was awarded, was March 29th. So we'll just let that simmer a little bit. But anyways, Odie Cleghorn scores first. Then Newsy Lalonde scores twice to tie the game. And it was Lalonde. I know it's Lalonde for the coach, or former coach of the Wings, current now assistant coach for the Leafs. But then Jack McDonald scores at 15:51 of the first overtime period. And the Montreal Canadiens won the Stanley Cup with Georges Vezina in net. So absolutely ridiculous how long it's been since the team came back from 3 goals down, which is why I wrote on the board the game was basically over at 3-0 Florida, especially with Florida at home. But Seattle was at home in this one too. So it's been done, not for a very, very, very long time. So 1919, the last time we saw that, and I figured, that's got to go on the board and we have to have a little discussion about it. So, Vezina is a nice transition into the next item on the board. Connor Hellebuyck wins both trophies. And I'm not overly surprised by this. So, Hellebuyck wins the Hart and the Vezina trophy. He was surprised with the trophies, of course. Hasek, Theodore, and Price are the other goaltenders to win the Hart trophy in the post-expansion era. So, since 1967, 3 goaltenders outside of Connor Hellebuyck. So, it's rare. Pretty rarefied air for him. Hasek, of course, one of the best of all time. Theodore had an absolutely ridiculous season that year. Jose Theodore ends up being a pretty good goaltender, but was not able to live up to that season. And then Carey Price. So 2 of the 3 Montreal Canadiens goaltenders. Vezina, of course, was a Montreal Canadiens goaltender. Hellebuyck, a Jets goaltender. So at any rate, congratulations to Connor Hellebuyck on winning both trophies. And so this basically secures a Hall of Fame spot for Hellebuyck as long as he continues to play the way he's been playing for Winnipeg. I know people will bring up the lack of playoff success, but still, the numbers for Hellebuyck have been ridiculous. So, a good chance if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. The Edmonton Oilers, to the surprise of no one, not naming their starter for tomorrow's game. I don't see how you don't go back to Pickard. I don't. If they go with Skinner, I'm not going to question it because Knobloch seems to have a really good idea of what to do and when, and he seems to anticipate these kinds of moves. But I think you have to go with Pickard. He's now 7-0 in these playoffs, so I think you have to go with Pickard, right? Gavin McKenna has been named the CHL Player of the Year. Not a huge surprise there. Gavin McKenna had a ridiculous season. He is expected to be the number 1 draft choice next year. And he has a lot of hype behind him. This kid's going to be fantastic at the National Hockey League level. He looked good at the Memorial Cup, and I think he's going to look better in the National Hockey League. So congratulations to Gavin McKenna on his award win. The American Hockey League Calder Cup starts tonight. If you are an Abbotsford fan and you want to watch, it does appear to be available on YouTube. Abbotsford and Charlotte. This game in Charlotte starts at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Should be a lot of fun. These teams very close in terms of their record during the regular season. Abbotsford's had a little bit tougher time of things over the last couple of rounds than Charlotte has. Charlotte's won 8 games in a row, so they're looking to make it 9. Abbotsford's looking to steal the first game, keeping in mind that games 3, 4, and 5 are going to be in Abbotsford. With the result last night between Edmonton and Florida, that cinches it. I will not be able to go to Game 3 in Abbotsford as it coincides with Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. So I'm okay with that. It's fine. I'll be staying home watching the game for all you fine people on the internet, and maybe we'll see the Stanley Cup awarded that night. We shall see. So an interesting story that's developing out of Pittsburgh. Talked a couple of days ago about how Pierre LeBrun was reporting that the Penguins were basically taking bids and they were up for sale. And it's not just LeBrun that was reporting on it either. Now, Fenway Sports Group apparently wanted to calm any fears about what might be going on with the team. They emailed the staff yesterday saying that they're seeking minority investors as the reports are out there that they were looking to potentially make a sale. Mary Lemieux being one of those in his little group there that might have been looking to buy the team. So we'll see if there is any truth to this. We'll see if this means that everything's kind of quashed. But I think there's got to be something to it. The Pittsburgh Penguins bought by Fenway, and apparently when they were bought by Fenway, it was for $900 million. Well, now the franchise is valued at almost $2 billion. So I honestly wouldn't blame somebody for buying something that's worth $900 million and then, selling it when it's worth $1.75 billion 4 or 5 years later. Just ridiculous amounts of money for these owners. And so we'll see what happens there. But Fenway Sports Group is basically saying, nope, we're not looking for somebody to buy the team as a majority owner. We're looking for minority owners, and saying they've had some good discussions and they've got some interest. So we'll see what happens there. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think they're actually up for sale? So all-star teams have been named. I go through these, of course, when I'm doing the year-by-year look at the National Hockey League. So your first team all-stars in the National Hockey League this year. In net, not a surprise, it's Connor Hellebuyck. On the blue line, it is Cale Makar and Zach Werenski on that first team. And up front, Nathan MacKinnon at center, Kucherov on the right side, and Kyle Connor on the left side. The second team all-stars, Andrei Vasilevsky, who I thought had a ridiculous season overall. Glad to see him get that second team all-star nod. And then on the blue line, Victor Hedman and Quinn Hughes get nods. So nice to see Hedman get in there as well. The interesting part to me about this is, but Morrissey got fourth on Norris voting, so shouldn't Morrissey be on the second team? It's just weird. Draisaitl, Pasternak, and Brandon Hagel are the second team forwards. Keep in mind that it has to be a center, a right winger, and a left winger. So the left wingers is your Kyle Connor and Brandon Hagel. And one thing that is true of the NHL's history, and if you look over the NHL's history in general, right wingers, much bigger scorers and bigger stars than left wingers in general. And when we look at the all-star teams and who the top guys are, very often the right wingers will be the ones that are the bigger stars and put up the bigger point totals. The all-rookie team, Dustin Wolf, of course, for Calgary. No division at all. No other votes went to anybody else. I saw the voting for that, and it was just Wolf. And then on the blue line, Hudson and Matejchuk are on the blue line. And up front, Celebrini, Cutter Gauthier, and Matvei Michkov. That'd be an amazing line. Just saying, if at any point on an all-star team or somehow we get those three together on a line in some kind of exhibition situation, I think we'll all be quite happy with that as fans. And then some news for Toronto fans here, but just for hockey fans in general. Joe Bowen has been calling hockey games for a very long time for the Toronto Maple Leafs, dating back to 1982. And this year he will reach the 3,800 game mark for how many games he's called of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's announcing this will be his final season. So at the end of the 2025-2026 season, he will retire. He is 74 years of age. And looking at that, I'm like, 74 makes a lot of sense. And so, that'll be his final season. And good luck replacing him. Whoever's going in there, good luck replacing him. Joe Bowen is really beloved by the Toronto Maple Leafs community. He's a Hall of Famer, got the Foster Hewitt Award as well. So all the best to him in retirement next year. But he does get that final season. Gets that final year to do a little, discussion of things. And I'm sure that he will be showered with the same level of attention as we saw on MSG this year as well. So we'll see how everything turns out there. But let me know your thoughts. And of course, with MSG, I don't know who's taking over for the Rangers with their play-by-play calling on TV next year. That's not going to be easy. That's not going to be easy. I've always felt for people who are, following in the footsteps of somebody who has got that level of fame. We had that here in Vancouver with Jim Robson as well. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event that you may not have done so already. So yeah, Joe Bowen is going to follow Sam Rosen a year later. But hey, thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.